Look at this. It's like travelling 10 years into the past with a single step. Oddly satisfying. Need to repeat this one day, but with bullets. I'll never forget how challenging it was to obtain this simple sketch. Oh, these must be the notes of my earliest observations. We wanted to locate a particular dog we'd spotted, and we met it, didn't we?
This time I was first to pick beds. This one's mine now. Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples.
The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. The only fiction book on my table. I can still hear my mother reading it to me. Interesting. What's that over there? This doorknob has a cross-shaped end. Too intricate to be merely a handle.
You know what? That definitely looks like a key. Let's poke around and see if we can find any secrets.
So many pleasant evenings were spent here with the Encyclopedia Americana. Look at this, John. Remember how desperately I wanted to learn the violin? I never had a proper opportunity.
Such a shame. I always hated the rule about being silent in this place. This time I was first to pick beds. This one's mine now.
The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. Perfect match. My small archive of crime clippings. Maybe I should pick up this habit again. Still has a faint odour of tobacco, one of the few things on this island that smell like home. Made of cherry wood, Father's favourite.
I knew you'd find it in no time. Oh, it reminds me of our neighbour. He had the same balloon in his yard, only bigger. Do you remember?
Yes. We visited him several times while living here.
Wasn't that neighbour missing a finger?
That does sound vaguely familiar. Wasn't his name, Theodore? Theodore Gilden, perhaps?
It's the perfect time to investigate.
wretch Goliath would murder us all. Mark my words.
Destruction and trampled ground. Oof, the contortionist you were not. Disjointed vertebrae. Difficult to say if it was a way to start or finish him off. A missing pinky. Middle-aged. It's none other than Theodore Gilden. A belt from a dressing gown. Curious. A kneecap reduced to splinters.
Oh boy, Sherlock. Another death means another question.
And we shall answer the question. It's far too interesting to give it up to the police.
He was certainly under pressure.
Coal gas tank. Enough to pump up an airship. A sailor's knife useful for cutting wet and thick ropes. A sailor's knife useful for cutting wet and thick ropes. Fresh signs of impact. A rough landing led to an altercation with this shed. A sailor's knife useful for cutting wet and thick ropes. It's seen a lot of use. The blade is worn from grinding. Destruction and trampled ground. Destruction and trampled ground. May I ask you something?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Are you able to help me?
I can't help you with that, sir.
Oh, I am...
May I ask you
Tell me
something?
when you find the answer.
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
As if they were struck by a battering ram.
I wonder how we managed not to hear any of this.
Hog heaven. A royal suite for a favourite pet.
Plenty of food to satisfy even the most fastidious. This is quite comfy. He was certainly under pressure.
strong pull broke this leash.
Poke the elephant with this? Really? People are hopeless.
A pool of blood and saliva, possibly as a result of impact.
Sherlock, take a picture of the footprint. It's valuable evidence. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
In a fit of rage, the elephant broke the chain and threw its victim on the ground with a fierce power. Escaping the scene, it pulled the body with it, but dropped it at the gate. At least some of this was witnessed by a third party who was hurled against the shed. The elephant can't have gone too far. I can still track it.
Well, suppose you find it. Then what? Push it all the way back to the manor? This photograph can help us find the old article about the elephants. The front page was fascinating. It was hard to believe as a child.
True. We may need it in our investigation. Excuse me, just one question.
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
Is this familiar to you?
Go find your answers somewhere else.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I have nothing to hide, sir, but I've never heard of this.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
May I ask you something?
The streets won't share their secrets with those who hide in fancy houses.
May I ask for your assistance?
The authorities have done nothing to help us, so I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Are you able to help me?
I don't trust anyone in uniform.
The elephant barged into this cart of olive oil.
What if we're lucky and he slipped and fell somewhere along the way?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
All my relatives were treated like dogs by the coppers. So why should I care?
Okay, hear me out. If an elephant falls in the forest and there's no one around to...
John, no.
Oh, you're such a killjoy.
Can I ask you a question?
Nothing springs to mind, officer.
Do you know anything about this?
Where do you get the idea that I'll help someone like you? Get lost.
Is this familiar to you?
I would help if I knew more, but perhaps others will be more helpful.
May I ask for your assistance?
I cannot. Sorry.
Time to check your who, what, and... What, Sherry? Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
All the newspapers are sold out.
Stop the presses. Who is Cordona's handsome stranger? Or Nosebagger spurns local life? Wait, no. Foppish foreigner hides dark past. Oh, you've made quite the impression already, Mr. Holmes. You care to tell your side of the story?
I'm quite certain I have no idea as to what you refer, and I am further certain I have no interest in indulging your gossip.
Gossip? The truth will come out, but will only be heard if told well. Scandal, daring-do, romance. These are the tools of every good journalist. Nothing travels faster or lasts longer than a great story. Young man, your tale will be told with or without you. My readers demand it.
You already knew my name and seem aware of my doings here in Cordona. I presume this newspaper is your little endeavour?
Yasmin Sertel, editor-in-chief of the Cordona Chronicle. Advocate of the free press, voice of the people, scourge of the silk stocking.
Charmed, I'm sure. As an advocate of the free press, I trust you'll permit me to consult your archives? There are gaps in my knowledge of Cordona.
Oh, so my work does have merit. Well, I think we can strike a bargain. I shall provide you access, and you let me keep writing about your exploits.
So be it.
Brooding bachelor builds bridges. Now that's character development.
I guess I owe you my gratitude.
What can I say? I've always enjoyed working with the Holmes. They whisper such interesting things.
That's the article. Feeling old already?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
Destruction and trampled ground. An amount of attention that most can only dream of.
This is quite comfy.
Do you know anything about this?
I'm so sorry. I can't help you, sir.
May I ask for your assistance?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
May I ask you something?
I'm so sorry. I can't help you, sir.
May I ask you something?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Oh, I am.
Are you able to help me?
Call me when you find the
I
answer.
can't help you with that, sir.
What's happened? Oh, Ross, isn't it? Who's it?
How do you do?
May I ask you something?
Mr. Fancy Clothes won't find any answers here.
Could you help me?
There is no amount of money that would make me talk.
Time to check your who, what and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
Strange. It was hung with care. The game has escaped us, for now. We'll find a solution to the elephant problem later. Hog heaven.
Oh, why do I get the worst jobs?
You. Who are you?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. Theodore Gilden was...
Did you kill him? Did you kill the elephant?
It's not in the yard anymore. It escaped into the forest.
You can't let it go. What if it returns?
I highly doubt that, Miss...
Imogen Gilden. Please, I beg of you, find that dreadful beast that killed my father.
I suppose we do need to learn what happened. Can you tell me what happened? From the very start.
I was here, so I didn't see how it began. My father visits the enclosure every morning to wake up Goliath. Today, I heard the elephant scream. I've never heard such a horrifying sound. My heart stopped. I knew something was wrong. I looked through my window and saw how it lifted my father up by his neck. I rushed downstairs. I saw it dragging my father as if he were a doll. I threw stones at it. It dropped my father's body and charged outside, screaming. Its roar was almost human. I was frightened, so I ran inside and hid here.
Well, it was the most probable outcome, living with a giant wild animal such as that.
How can you be so cold? Goliath murdered my father, Mr. Holmes. He mustn't be allowed to get away with it.
Well, thank you for the information, Miss Gilden. I did have some questions for your father. Perhaps you might help me with them?
I wasn't privy to much of my father's life, and it's very hard to think of anything at all with Goliath still loose. Please, Mr. Holmes.
Very well. Do you mind if I ask you more questions if I find anything that might help?
Anything to catch that monster.
Miss Gilden, I was on this island 10 years ago, and your father knew my mother. I believe I even had the opportunity to ride that balloon outside, but I do not recall seeing you.
I lived at my late mother's in Sheffield at the time. I'm in no spirit to reminisce right now. The elephant is out there.
You've never heard the name Violet Holmes before? Perhaps your father...
Please, Mr. Holmes. With that beast roaming free, I can't think of anything.
Very well. Had Goliath been aggressive before?
It's dangerous, but it was never aggressive near my father. My father would do anything for Goliath. All the elephant had to do was clap its ears.
You envied him, the elephant, I mean?
Our house is called the House of Ivory. I've heard some people refer to me as the Ivory Girl. And my room stinks of the animal, as if it's me who lives in a pen and not Goliath. It's not envy, Mr. Holmes. It's just incredibly difficult to live like this. I'm afraid I can't add anything useful.
Did you observe anyone else in the yard? Any of your servants, perhaps?
Servants? Do you imagine that we would have any with Goliath? No one wishes to work in this house, even for double pay. I didn't see anyone else. Only my father and that diabolical beast. I can't think of anything else right now. I can't think of anything else right now.
Who's a cute bird?
She packed as much as she could carry. The same dull poses on all romantic photographs. So idyllic. Enjoy your happily ever after before it stales. False idols? Oh, sounds utterly dreary.
Hey, Sherry, we need to talk. You found false idols. We need to find the remaining two.
What does bazooka even mean? Would this paper be good for anything but blowing one's nose on?
They're not rubbish, Sherry. There's something more. I'm serious.
Very well. I doubt it'll be worth it, but I will find them for you, John.
You'll thank me later. They're some of the most imaginative books I've ever read.
What did you say?
Speaking aloud helps me think.
Who's a cute bird?
I found this. Who's this young lad next to you, your faithful knight?
Paul. He's my pirate. He's not really a pirate. I just call him that. It probably sounds very silly.
Your secret is safe in my hands. Does Paul work somewhere? What is his surname?
His name is Paul Perks. He and his yacht Whirlpool are the champions of the Salacia Yacht Club. He sails there. I'll show you where it is on the map if you need to meet him.
A yachting champion? Well, that will be a first. I prefer dry land. And so does my suit. How can you read something like this? It's hard to swallow, and that's not due to the hard cover.
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life, so you might try reading about it at least.
These bags of yours, it looks as if you've packed your entire room. Were you planning on going somewhere?
My partner and I, we wanted a change, a fresh start abroad. But now I have to stay here. Here, an orphan.
I can always recognize the spirit of a true artist. The nicest spot in the room. Mr. Gilden spent hours of his life right here.
Staring at an elephant's backside. What a wonderful life.
A partnership annulled with a single stroke of a pen. A catchy title. What's so special about this place? Another elephant? I should take a photograph of the plans. I don't want to carry them around. A relatively functional choice to replace the finger. Oh, the pungent stench of an animal.
Did Theodore seek some pink elephants with this?
I think they were closer than you and me, John.
I'm hurt.
I think Miss Gilden has barely matured. Mother. It's nice to see her young and smiling. From before Mycroft was born, our family loves to prod at the past.
Holmes's desire to rake up the past is hereditary.
Quite the spectrum. From the history of the Roman Empire to conspiracy theories of the French Revolution. His second child? An apparent son and heir, I'd say. And, which part of the elephant is in here? It's quite pungent.
Oh, that. It's elephant sweat. Father believed that it might replace traditional ambergris.
Well, that's true entrepreneur spirit. A. Swift, is this name familiar to you? Your father had it removed from this plan.
Oh, that's Arthur Swift. I've seen him a couple of times here. He works with my father in the old city, digging up something ancient.
He is an archaeologist?
That's the word, yes. But to be truthful, I really don't think Mr. Swift is fit to be one. I've just learnt a lot about archaeology from my favourite book series. Oh, they are page-turners.
Inspirational, I'm sure, but would you happen to know where this Mr. Swift might be found?
I don't, but perhaps you can find out somewhere. My father's work with him is all official. Lots of boring legal papers with signatures and stuff. It's chilling to think the monster... is free.
Help me, please.
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
The finest clothes for the finest people on the island.
Masterpieces by local artists at a... My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase. You'll never find such magnificent painting. Make your garden cozier with our goods. My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
That's a question I can answer.
Excuse me, just one question.
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt?
Where would a champion hide a key?
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
You should have a warning to cover your ears.
Sails of hatred. I suppose there is something for everyone, including champions.
Who knew archaeology could be so exciting?
Exciting is certainly a word. Champion's Whirlpool. Paul's bread and butter. Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt? I hope Paul is more skilled at yachting than he is at hiding keys. Bloodied bandages. To earn big, you have to spend big. Old betting slips. Paul always bets on Whirlpool. One victory after another. Mr. Gilden wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. Additional earnings to sweeten the victory. An interesting place for a message to a champion. A box full of darts. Each has a needle and can be loaded with drugs. An expensive set of tools for woodwork. An amateur wouldn't know how to use these. Shipbuilding, shipwright's tricks, sail weaving. Undeniably psychotropes. Not for toothache, I think. A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea. Undeniably psychotropes. Not for toothache, I think. 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 A typical tea tin. I wonder what he has for biscuits.
Oi! Hands off my possessions before you lose your fingers. Are you illiterate? The rules are written everywhere.
Ah, Mr. Perks, the cabin boy himself.
Champion, you mean? I was right. You are illiterate. I think a couple of shiners might teach you. One last chance. Who are you?
I am a friend of Theodore Gilden. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I need a few words from you about...
Get out of here. I'm not joking. Leave this place before you have cause to regret it. I will use force.
Do the police still throw people in prison for smuggling? Oh yes, with you helpless and handcuffed, I'd learn a few more secrets. We don't need to compete with our egos now, surely.
Oh no. I'd rather you tell me something more, so that I might have more reasons to punch you out.
I'm impressed by how well a woman can handle a yacht and endure so many hardships on the open sea. The revelation of your nature could well humiliate so many rich men here, not to mention how you have broken the rules. But I understand. You've done this to forge a real career in the sport. But tell me something. Has no one asked you why you don't grow a beard?
Shh! Have you been following me? You better not be wanting to end my career, because I swear you'll regret it if I get outed.
Damn you, Paul. I'm sick of... Who's this peacock? Does he know who I am?
I definitely know who you are not. You're not a dictionary reader, at least. I wanted to see how you... pals interact with each other in your natural habitat. But I'm afraid I have to interfere.
And there's no reward for risking our lives.
Paul's explanation will suffice. Your fellow mariners have a strange way of showing hospitality.
They were not my friends.
Are you sure? I would rather risk my neck for someone who's at least honest and thankful.
Perhaps then don't enter someone's life and be so judgmental, pretending you're better than they are.
Then give me your perspective and allow me to see through your eyes. What were you doing this morning, Miss Perks?
Don't call me that. I'm a champion. I was sailing.
The other club members told me that you missed the race this morning. Do champions not need to practice?
Ugh, you've talked with them already. No, I wasn't racing. I visited the doctor after that attack on me. And then I had to honor the deal with the bandits you just took care of.
I tried to tell you before, but your partners interrupted. Have you heard the news? Theodore Gilden is dead. Do you have anything to say?
Well, what a shock. To me, he was an angry old ogre. Good riddance. Was it Goliath that killed him? Did it crush him? Break his bones? Come on, tell me. I want all the details.
You have an unusual way of showing grief. Imogen wouldn't appreciate that. But yes, the animal could have been involved.
It's poetic in a way, isn't it? It takes a beast to kill a monster. I wish I could have been that elephant.
You're asking for trouble with this smuggling business. You'd better leave it before they smuggle you out in a barrel.
Don't patronize me. I've only ever had trouble with law-abiding citizens like Gildan and you, never bandits. So ask me anything you want, and then get out of my sight.
You smuggle illicit psychotropes on your yacht. Not a delivery for the hospital, I'm sure.
Of course not. I've had to cut corners to earn some money. How might a person afford to pay for a yacht in an honest way? I don't know, although I'm smart. The buyers are my customers. Adults who are willing to pay for their pleasure, or weapons for jewels. Whatever they want me to deliver. Nothing criminal.
Well, it's your lucky day. I'm not here because of smuggling. Have you tasted this tea yourself?
I wouldn't have been a champion if I had used it. It's just a side business that keeps my career afloat. It's quite expensive to compete in yachting. Sometimes I cut corners.
Such as fixing whirlpool yourself?
Exactly. And sometimes I just have to pay. That's how I earn money. I don't sell slaves or take the last mangear from a poor family. I'm clueless.
Look what I found. A box full of darts.
Hey, that's mine.
I confiscated it. These darts appear to be filled with something. Poison? How powerful is it?
It's strychnine. Enough to instantly kill a small rodent. I haven't tried it on a human. Yet. I hope you know what you're doing.
Could it immobilize a larger animal? Say, an elephant?
I've never tried, but I have wondered.
It seems as though Theodore Gildan hung a sword of Damocles over your life and career. Were these only words, or something more serious?
Check my forearm. Pulled muscles and bruises. Small cuts. Nothing that you could call serious.
I doubt that a man in his late 50s could wrestle you.
It wasn't him. He behaved like a rat and hired brutes. His boys tried to lock my hands behind my back, but I was faster and I escaped.
Was he so protective of his daughter, or was it your feminine secret that provoked him?
My guess is that he was protecting his property. As he saw it, he owned Imogen, and he treated her like a piece of furniture. He didn't want his daughter to be loved by anyone. What's more painful is that Theodore didn't allow me to love his daughter. Typical.
I'm not sure that your relationship with Imogen could be described as typical.
Are you afraid of a woman in trousers? Now that's typical of men.
Between yachts, darts, and notes from bandits, I've discovered many fascinating facts about you. But this, an installment of Nabe and Laura's adventures. Why did you sully your library with this?
It's a gift from Imogen. I didn't buy it. I might have turned a couple of pages, but nothing more. I swear.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt, but your literary taste has put you on my blacklist. A charming picture. I've heard that champions do often pose with their trophies.
Cheeky. It is a lovely trophy, though. I'm sure you will agree.
What is it that you like most about her? Her naivety? Her father's money?
A somewhat difficult choice. Especially now that her father is out of the equation.
A. Swift. Are you familiar with this name? The gentleman had business with Mr. Gildan.
Likely just another strange and wrinkled fellow like old Gildan was. Perhaps this Swift person has a rhino, and they wanted to see which pet was stronger. In other words, I don't know who he is, but I bet he's crazy like Theodore.
I doubt that court owner has ever boasted a battle arena for that size of mammal. You have an interesting imagination.
I'm clueless.
Imogen doesn't strike me as an industrious young lady, so I find it strange that she was busy packing up all her belongings when Mr. Gilden died. That's some favourable wind in your sails, isn't it?
Is it so suspicious that a couple might embark on a trip? I wanted to thank her, so we planned to go travelling. A Theodore-free place, without elephants.
The timing of it is suspicious, however. Your lady friend becomes an orphan and heir, and there's a planned trip directly afterwards.
An improvised romantic dinner will never please a spoilt girl. A planned voyage might. It's not spur of the moment.
Does this knife seem familiar? I didn't find it in your competitor's back, to be clear.
This knife is as blunt as your humor. It's a bosun's knife, but it's not mine. I wouldn't be so careless as to mislay my tools.
What can you tell me about the elephant?
He's smarter than some people here, including his owner. Although I feel he could be dangerous, no matter how much he's fed.
Why is that? Have you ever seen Goliath attack anyone?
Well, not exactly. But I saw it, abusing some poor tree during one of its walks with Theodore. The expression on that old ninny's face was priceless. But it wasn't funny to look at. Believe me, it was frightening. Just be quick.
Are you aware that Paul smuggles drugs for a dangerous gang?
Mr. Holmes, I've already told you. I call him a pirate in play. He's not an actual pirate. He's a champion and a brave gentleman, not a thug.
Let us agree to disagree on that. But don't be surprised if one of his clients knocks on your door. Have you seen what your father sent to Paul?
This is despicable. My father was never a gentleman, but this crosses the line. I knew that father wasn't fond of Paul, but this is just awful. If only he could have seen how good Paulie is to me.
Nice to see you.
Look, the cutest thing you'll see all day. Hamlet staged by children.
Oh, so it has taken root.
What's taken root? As I recall, when we were growing up, this theatre didn't welcome kids.
You've forgotten, John. Come to the back entrance and I'll refresh your memory.
Yet I still see nothing.
You need to focus, my dear friend. Watch me.
So what's here? I don't see anything. So what's here? I don't see anything. So what's here? I don't see anything.
Here was our glorious stage. Ring any bells?
Ah, we don't need to dwell on the past, Sherry.
And Hamlet's mother, Gertrude, taking poison. What was the name of that girl? Oh, Georgina, of course. She was our neighbour.
Oh, I remember her. She liked you.
And there you were, the best supporting actor. My silent scene partner, my Yorick. Your presence inspired me and brought me to tears.
Yeah, it hurt to know that's all I could be. Inspiration. I couldn't even play the king's ghost. How's that for irony? To be or not to be? Indeed.
I know why you wanted to forget. The show forced you to confront your limits, except no one else would ever see you but me. Why do you think I cried? In the end, the audience was thrilled. I can still hear their roars after the final act.
You were so pleased with yourself when the theatre director came down to admire your work.
He applauded. A huge gesture from a man for whom children on stage was an anathema.
One small step for a man, one giant leap for students of the dramatic arts.
Childhood is a time of naivety. I cannot now imagine seeking a career as an actor, drinking wine all day and gaily treading the boards at night.
Yet you often pretend to be someone else in your search for the truth. You can't act like this side of you disappeared completely.
Quite. This, above all, to thine own self be true.
Are you lost, sir?
Not at all. I'm right where I need to be. I'm Sherlock Holmes, by the way.
Ursula Oni, the chief archivist. How can I help you exactly?
I need to take a look at the history of Cordona and its islanders to retrieve some, hopefully, useful information.
Your brother Mycroft told me that you were direct, and now that we've met, I can see that is true.
Someone in our family has to balance the evasive nature of my brother. Well, may I use the city archives?
You may, of course, but in return, perhaps dinner?
That's a high price to pay for looking at your archives.
I was teasing you. Pay no attention to me.
With your love for archives, you would have made the perfect bureaucrat.
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. That's how our cooperation began. And you? Did Mycroft force you into this?
Not at all. We simply have a mutual interest in someone. Or something.
Of course. A fruitful and willing collaboration, I'm sure.
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequences of being a close relative of an official figure.
I suppose, in a way, we are colleagues, Mr. Holmes.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni. Should it?
Concentrate, Sherry.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's beyond my knowledge.
A large crowd gathered. I was here, young and passionate about the truth. Mycroft stood close to me. He was keen on my attending every official event, that I might prepare myself for the Crown service.
Lucky for you, that was the last time he did it.
There was a stage here, a tribune. The governor gave his speech there. He was lying through his teeth and nobody noticed, or didn't want to, but I noticed. I was extremely irritated by his lies. I shouted my opinions very loudly for everyone to hear.
The crowd went wild.
Mycroft was angry but calm. He led me away from the stage. He told me that I should keep my mouth shut, and that silence is golden. I couldn't stand for that.
Behold, Sherlock Holmes's famous adherence to justice was born here.
All fresh issues are sold out.
my bad.
Can I ask you a question?
You shouldn't have left your mansion. You won't get any answers from me. Merhaba.
Could you help me?
Doesn't remind me of anything. Someone else can help better, sir.
What's up?
The market square, beating heart of the old city.
I wonder if they still sell that here. I need to have just a lie down.
Come, decorate your house. Merhaba. It's a good day for a purchase. May your purchase bring you joy. Don't miss out on the best carpets on the island.
Seni görmek güzel. Merhaba.
Salty breeze, old ruins, dusty roads. Do you recall clambering over these walls as a child?
Perhaps. Did we find something at the top?
Ah, it was an old skull. What a lucky find for a pair of young adventurers.
It was easier to climb these walls back then. Not merely because we're older, but because the ruins are too. Of course. You said we needed to bury him. Do you remember where?
Oh, one would think burying a human skull would stick in the mind, but somehow... no.
Old man was standing here as we passed.
Oh, yes. I remember his face as we flew by with a skull in our hands.
He looked as shocked as our grisly companion.
Nothing ever bothers an old Ottoman backgammon player.
This wasn't the right place for a funeral. We were looking for somewhere more appropriate.
Funny, nowadays you love putting men behind bars.
You're a fellow of infinite jest, aren't you? The water level was higher back then.
I remember swimming through this mire while trying not to breathe in the horrible odour.
This is where we buried it. It seems that with time, our friend has emerged once more. The skull is ancient. Its likeliest owner was one of the Knights Hospitaller who died during the siege of the fortress. I remember now, you said this skull was my father's.
A child's imagination is a powerful tool. You needed this. A burial process of your own. A ritual so you could begin to grieve.
Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. I felt so alone back then, John. Uncertain. Abandoned by my father.
I know.
The skull wasn't his, though it may as well have been. In the earth, all of us look alike. But putting this man to rest, it did help.
I'm glad, Sherry.
I find myself rather tempted to keep it. If not for sentimental value, then it's archaeological merit. Are you able to help me?
Can't say I know.
May I ask for your assistance?
I clearly have nothing to do with what you are asking about.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Is this familiar to you?
You want answers, but I don't want to talk to you, rich boy. So what happens now?
May I ask for your assistance?
Stick to your kind in the factory and get out of the way.
Can I ask you a question?
I've never heard of it. I'm sorry.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Don't pass by. Welcome. Let's pick something that suits you.